Jeff with Hodgepodge Hoosiers. This is what we come up with on the gravity-fed irrigation system, irrigation system. And she will link all these in the description. And we bought these separate from those. And then I'll show you how our system's going to be. I have a inch and an eighth bit, and I'll pick out one certain spot on the bucket. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but there's a little ring here. That's the lip on the bottom of the bucket. So what I do is I stick a finger thickness between that, and I'll show you in a minute why I do that. Okay, the inch and an eighth bit, I kind of blow, and then I wipe it all off so there ain't nothing in between, nothing. And the wife here's got the parts. Okay, so what we do here, we take this inch bulkhead, take it apart, and make sure you got one washer on. Okay, now the thickness of my finger is because you don't want that nut hitting the bottom, so you can get a wrench or something on it if need be. It's just, it takes it up off the bottom about a ½ inch, but that won't hurt nothing. Okay, then the rubber washer, the other rubber washer goes against the bucket. The rubber washer stays against the buckets. Then you just tighten that up. It's plastic, you don't have to go to extremes, but if you get that size, I take an adjustable wrench. Most people may not have this 1 1/4 inch wrench, but it's an 1 1/4 inch wrench. And I just snug it up just a little bit farther, tighter than I can get it with my hands. And that's plenty with the rubber washers up against that flat, slick surface. Part then is we take these, and this is the rubber washer that came with it. You take that out, and we bought these, and she will also link these in the description. This is an inline filter. Replace that white one that came with it with that inline filter, and then just screw it on hand tight, and it smashes that rubber washer in, and you should be good to go. Just make sure everything's tight when you're done.
Okay, we have all the buckets ready. Just cleaning up our mess. Putting holes in the buckets does make a mess. So we're gonna get some took out to the garden and start with the drip line, show you how the drip line's gonna work. So we'll be right back.
Okay, this is Jeff. What I'm doing here is I've got my extensions on my drill, my 1/4 inch drive, and I got my drill set to low. And what I'm using is sheet metal screws with the rubber washers, actually to put down a metal roof on garage or house or whatever. And I know some of you's probably gonna say, well, that'll leak. And we tried it on that one, and it does not leak. However, I do know over time it probably will start to turn dry and all that. So in time, you may have to take them back out and put a little silicone around them and then reseal them. So that's just an FYI if you start having trouble, if you try this. So what I'll do is I kind of center it up on the post. And then a bucket's always got the center how they make them. And I just stick it right down in the center. And you can tell when it gets tight because you'll see that rubber washer kind of squish out. As soon as it starts to squish out, stop, because you don't want to pinch it so tight that it'll leak. So. And
then also, we said in another video that this is an old electric pole. He cut them to 26 inches. Is that what it was?
26 inches, and then I took rebar, a piece of rebar, and cut it. I think I cut them 26 inches or 28 inches and drove them in that far and left 13 inches sticking out. and then I drilled a 1/2-inch hole with, you can buy extension bits. I drilled a 1/2-inch hole 14 inches up in that to hold them.
That's just using what we had around. You can make stands, you can...
I wanted to initially make cedar stands for each one, but right now I don't have time to do that. So this post was free. The electric company didn't want it, so they gave it to us locally here. So we're just making good use out of them for now.
So now all the buckets are fastened down to their stands. You're going to see this one bucket here. We've got one spout on each side because there's just the 2 small peppers there. So we're going to run a short drip line off of this down there, and then the long one will go to that, and it'll just share a bucket. It saved space for us so we could still walk through. So next is installing the drip line. We didn't put a drip line on this one single planter. I'm just going to put a clear gallon bucket and put holes in the side of it and let it slow drip on it. Just seemed like it wasn't really worth it to put a drip line on that one. You will need a pack of these or just a pack of the ends. These have got T's in it also if you want to cut your line and make 2 lines in your beds. But you will need these little plugs to put in the end because we got to cut the drip line. And it also, we bought another pack of these. These are great for holding down the drip line. You don't have to, but it does help keep it down close to the plant. Now it is a little hard getting that started on there to get over that area. We take like a needle nose pliers and kind of stretch it a little bit, and then you just kind of got to work it on there. It does go so tight so it'll prevent leaking.
You may have to do it. I don't have the
Here,
hand
give it to
strength.
me. What I've been doing is just putting my needle nose pliers in there and kind of stretching that. And then my hands are slick too.
So far, I think out of the whole thing, this is the hardest part.
Yeah.
It seems like. I mean, we've got the right barb tips and, you know, the right hose and all that. But for some reason, that seems the hardest part. But that's how it should look when you're done. If it's anything less than that, it will drip. I mean, that really doesn't matter, but you want all the drips to go through the lines. So after that's connected on there, you just plug that back in. The thing is, now we got to cut this back off because we're going to put a T in it so we can go down each side.
Now, since the cucumbers hasn't come up yet, we're not sure exactly, we don't want to disturb them. So these can be moved when we do see them come up. But you see what he's doing? He's just taking them staples, ground cover staples, and it's just going to hold it down.
Just off to the side of where we know she put seeds at for now.
Now, we didn't put a T in this one. We're going to just go ahead around and make it one continuous piece. That is your prerogative. A T is not necessary. It is easy to put a T in it. But since you're doing raised beds, we think we can get along without it.
And if it doesn't work, we can always put one in it
Yeah.
later, because we do have them with that packs. I missed one,
Oh, you missed a plant?
I guess. That's one, right?
Yeah.
That's what's nice about this stuff. You can just kind of run it wherever you want to run it, more or less, you know. So we're going to put one right here, and then now she'll cut it off and cap it.
And that's where these plugs is going to come in. Where do you want to cut it off? Right there?
Yeah, shortly after this. So you got room to start the next one.
Okay.
You don't want to cut up close to one of the holes, is what we was just talking about, if you didn't hear us. The reason is so you got room in between each emitter to start on the next bucket, because again, you buy this in a row. So we're just trying to explain all the details. And again, you know,
these plugs are easier to put on because you got them grips.
Yeah, yeah. I've got real bad arthritis in my hand, so I just can't hardly do that. And she's pretty good at it.
Okay, on this double bucket that we're doing, we've got the onion side done. We just swarmed it around and was staking it here and there to keep it laying. And when we got to the end, capped it. So now we're going to do the small side for the peppers. Now we're going to put the water in, drip lines all in.
There it goes.
You can already see it starting to drip.
All the way out already. Right here.
And this is all gravity fed. It's supposed to, according to this size of drip line, a half a gallon per hour. So if we do this of a night time, it's going to get moisture all night and soak in. And it's going to go to the roots. Like I said, once we know where the cucumbers is going to come up in these hills, we can move it closer to it.
Yeah, like tomato plants and stuff like that, you can run it right along the base of the plant, see, and yeah, there'll be an emitter or two between, but that won't hurt nothing. You're still putting water right where the plant is, and this has to be a lot better than
top watering,
especially tomato plants. Now you can buy this stuff. I think it's black and it's solid. If you don't like this emitter this close, just dripping out here, and you know, and connect all that. But we're just trying to do stuff with least expensive as possible, and honestly, this is probably pretty close to about it. So that's why we didn't do that.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and put some water in this bucket. This is that double bucket we did. We're hoping this works just the same.
Yeah. This is kind of our little test here.
Yeah, this is an experiment. Okay, it's already starting to come out here.
Yeah, you're good. It's all over the onions already.
Yeah, it's coming out over here on the peppers.
See the onion?
So it's already made it that far.
Yep. So yeah, it works. It's just the emitters, you know. It's how they work. Yeah, it's plumb up there already. It's coming around the corner, right here. That's the end of it. Right
Oh,
here.
okay. So yeah, it's already made it
It's
all the way
already
to the
through,
end.
and it is. So it does work.
So yeah, we are still carrying water, but we was just top watering last year. We was in a drought, and our plants was suffering. So we're thinking this is going to get to the roots, water all night.
Another thing here, guys, that everybody needs to remember is this is out of an old water well that's on my dad's property.
Yeah.
We actually get it from off my dad's property, so it's free water.
So we're filling this rain barrel right there, water barrel, and our well is up the hill about right there. So it's coming down the hill and filling the bucket. The barrel, and then we have to still fill buckets, but
the point to all of that is we don't have pressure. Yes, we got a hydrant over there hooked to our local water system, but you know, that gets pretty expensive pretty quick. And not only that, you get chloride and all that other stuff in it. This water here is about as pure as it gets. They had it tested before it was actually built on the water itself was, and it's good clean water. So that's another thing that we liked about it. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. Again, we have no pressure, so this was
gravity.
our next best thing.
Yeah.
So this is Shelly and Jeff with Hodgepodge Users. Like, subscribe, and share, and see you on the next one.